Namaste. I was in Thailand recently, doing a retreat, and I had the chance to record a conversation between me and my meditation teacher, Ajahn Mike. He is someone who is well versed both in Theravada and in Vajrayana Buddhism. And so in the first half of the video, we talk about the mutuality of the different Buddhist schools and what is the essence really behind all the different traditions. And in the second half of the video, he leads a guided meditation to actually get in touch with the thing that we're talking about and lay out the necessary foundation for our practice. I hope you enjoy. So in Buddhism there are many different schools and they have different approaches to meditation and different philosophy, and from the outside the approach that they take looks very different. And you are someone who studied both Theravada Buddhism and also the practices of Vajrayana Buddhism. And I'm curious if you can talk about the similarities, about where they're coming from or where they're going to in the practice.
So you decide not to talk about differences first, yeah? About the similarities.
You want to talk about differences first?
Yeah. No, I guess, like first we need to see that from the outside perspective, the technique are completely different. Yeah. So when you see, let's say, Tibetan Buddhism, you see a lot of visualization, a lot of guru yoga practice, and many other things that from outside looks like it's just concentration technique. But actually, when you talk with masters in the Tibetan Buddhism, Vajrayana Buddhism, you found out that actually they talk about pretty similar things than they talk in Mahayana Buddhism, Zen, or in Theravada. But again, it's pretty different views. I mean, different people can tell you different things about it. Yeah, and we have a lot of books that show you there are so much differences that it's almost different religions.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah? But for me, all these vehicles, it's like we have a car, let's say. Yeah. What is the most important part in the car?
The engine?
Yeah. Someone say, okay, this is an engine. Okay, how you can drive without wheel?
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Okay, if it's wheel and engine, okay, but how are you going to drive without gas?
So every part is equally important.
I'm not sure about equally, but it's not a car without wheel. It's not a car without engine. It's not a car without gas. And looks like this approach that we see a lot of these different schools is actually part of one vehicle, the teaching of the Buddha, the Dhamma. And then we just pick up something that, looks like engine is the most sophisticated things. Yeah, so this is the most important thing. But others say look, without wheels, you cannot drive. It's very, very basic knowledge that we all need to follow. Yeah, and that's how this differences appears. But the goal is the same. It's enlightenment. And even in these different schools, you can find, let's say in Vajrayana Buddhism, yeah. So they even say that actually every vehicle goes to enlightenment. So there is a path to enlightenment in any vehicles, but someone assumes that we are faster, right. We are better, we are smarter. But when I think about it, for me it's always funny. It's can you imagine Buddha start to teach and that's okay, today is a class for dummies. This is dummies vehicle, and now we're going to teach smart kids.
Right.
Okay, this will be the highest teaching. So I hardly imagine this kind of a teaching. And even if it was like that, what about now? So we claim that, let's say, I don't know, any types of a vehicle, we are the best. Yeah, especially vehicles that talking about the highest level. But everyone can join it. You're not choosing, who are smarter, who are more skillful in knowledge. Everyone coming and just became, the highest vehicle. Yeah. So I think we need to be more friendly to each other and learn from each other. It's like, in any of these vehicles normally don't know about each other. They read about each other. But if I read, let's say, about Vajrayana Buddhism, so I try to get someone's view on it. I don't know my own experience about it. So it would be better if we can kind of connect with this teaching and see where this teaching going, and then we can judge does it make sense or not. Otherwise, it's like you remember in this story Babylon, when they built this skyscraper. Babylon.
When they were all coming together to build this big tower.
Skyscraper.
And then language came and
Yes, and then they split these languages. Into parts. And you look at these languages, they are completely different. Like English, Chinese, Thai, completely different. And like for example, I know Thai language, and someone told me, Chinese is very similar to Thai. And I start to believe that Chinese is very similar to Thai. And for example, let's say English is very different from it. But to really understand, that's what we are waiting for. Alaya, look. How alay? Pai. Pai lentino.
That's alright.
Yes.
But the languages.
Yes. So, in order to understand what the similarities in languages and differences, you really need to learn this language. And like at first you see, so many differences. All the words are different. Everything is different. But at some point you find some roots that kind of some words have the same roots, and go, so there are some similarities, some differences and similarities. But then you go to the core of the language, and the core of the language is to give information and receive information. Basically two functions in any languages. It doesn't matter what differences and what similarities, only these two things. And these two things is actually the part of one thing. It's a language. So that's how in Tibetan Buddhism they explain the nature of mind. This is emptiness and awareness and clarity. But actually they are not separated, they are the same. So
wow, wait, we made a big jump here about
sometimes, maybe you can
because
ask something
from the
else.
outside point of view, Theravada Buddhism, the practice is Vipassana, which is not so much about concentration, and not so much a Samatha practice, but about developing mindfulness and open awareness in which everything is included and we see how the mind, the mechanics of the mind works. And so it's not putting something there, but just seeing what is. And from the outside point of view, Vajrayana Buddhism, you put something there. It's either a mantra or a deity that you visualize, or prostrations. It feels like it's a very different approach. You're not. It's like you're not opening up a room and letting everything in. It's like you're closing down a room and only focusing on one thing. And that's how it looks from the outside. So, how is all that? How is all that practice in Vajrayana Buddhism go to the nature of mind? How do they build up to that moment where we can talk about the similarities between Vipassana and nature of mind in Vajrayana?
So first, in any vehicles of Buddhism, we have Samatha and Vipassana practice. It's not only for Theravada; it's for every vehicles. And the idea of Vipassana, what it is to see things as they are. So for Theravada Buddhism, things as they are is anicca, dukkha, anatta, impermanence, suffering, non-self. This is the nature of reality. But for Mahayana Buddhism, the nature is a little bit different. It's an emptiness. So if you practice understanding emptiness, it's a vipassana. And then for Vajrayana practitioners, it's emptiness and awareness. And this became a nature of mind. And this is how it goes slowly there.
So it's all nature of mind practice.
Actually, they have this understanding that, okay, this is like a clarity, this is an emptiness, but the unity, they mostly talk about in a highest teaching, in Dzogchen or Mahamudra teaching. Yeah? But just to make it clear that Vipassana exists in every schools. Just focus on a different approach.
Right.
But again, you can, if you see through practical aspect of it. Yeah, what is emptiness? Yeah, emptiness is not nothingness. If you see that impermanence and non-self is basically another word for emptiness. Yeah, all right. And then we have awareness of this emptiness, awareness of impermanence, awareness of non-self. And then we have awareness and emptiness together. So, whichever path you choose, actually you can touch the core of the Buddha's teaching.
Digesting, all right. Still, right now we're talking about a specific practice, which is, we said Vipassana, which is different names and different practices, but essentially it's the same thing. But in each practice there's also Samatha practices, and in Tibetan Buddhism there is visualization, and when I think of Tibetan Buddhism, that's what I think about tantras. That's the main idea in my head. What role do these other practices play in coming to the nature of mind practice?
In Tibetan Buddhism, they have a really well-developed step-by-step approach how you develop your practice, and it starts from Samatha practice, basically. Yeah, and then it goes to Vipassana, and then it goes to the nature of mind. Yeah, and they know all these techniques of concentration on different objects, an outside object, inside object, but they discover that visualization is more easiest object to concentrate on. Because if you have this object in your mind, it's bright, vivid, so you're already there. And then you can learn how to rest in this object. Yeah, and it prepares your mind for doing Vipassana. So they do it at the beginning, and then they switch to Vipassana. In Theravada, the same approach. I mean, there are two ways how to do Vipassana. First is so-called dry Vipassana. Yeah, we start without any preparation. Yeah, whatever happens, you just observe the changes and non-self in it. But another approach, you start from Samatha. So, for example, Anapana meditation. You observe your breath. You observe how your body moves, like your abdomen or this area, and then when your mind concentrates a little bit, became more relaxed, more loose, more stable in this relaxation, and then switch to Vipassana. Yeah. So basically they use the same approach, but let's say the shape, the form of the technique are different, but the essence are the same, to get mind focused. Moreover, in Tibetan Buddhism, we have practice of bodhicitta and guru yoga. Yeah, these two things that they consider very important for our practice, because it creates right state of mind for practicing. Yeah, it's like set up you for. It creates more positive energy that moves your practice.
But you see, this is tricky, because like in Theravada we talk about not being attached to positive state or negative state, and right now we're talking about forcing, in a way, a little bit. Like we want to create this positive state for practice.
Yes, but in order to practice, you have to have energy, whether you want it or not. So what common energies that move this world? It's an anger and craving.
Fair enough, yeah.
Very powerful, yeah. And more often than not, we use excite this energy in our practice. We want to get some states, jhanas, jnanas, whatsoever, emptiness. Craving moves us. Or we want to get rid of some states of mind that we don't want, get rid of some pain. Again, it gives you energy. But this energy never bring you to another shore. Yeah, it's impossible, because by practicing this, you develop this pollution. So you can sit, for hours, but at the end you have a lot of anger, a lot of craving, and that's what we develop in our practice. But you see, in Theravada Buddhism, we have metta meditation practice. Basically, it serves the same function. You with dana and shila.
Yeah.
Dana and shila is a good foundation for samadhi, for stability of mind. And metta meditation is a part of samatha meditation. Again, so you build a foundation, and from this foundation you switch to vipassana afterwards. So in this sense, the approach is very similar. Maybe what seems very different is that these deities, yes, has different qualities, and some people start to believe that they really exist, and this we consider is a lower tantra, when they really think that this is real stuff happening with them. But when you practice according to higher tantra, you get some states of mind that refer to these deities. So you kind of like merge with them. And then after that you let it go. And you just see how everything disappears in the nature of mind. So you just kind of like launch the rocket, it goes to the space, and then you don't need to use any energy. You drop it, and it just fly by itself.
We are talking a lot about the preparatory process to getting to Vipassana, or nature of mind, or just observing things as they are. Sorry, forgot that.
With
No, yeah. So sorry. Just there's the practice of open awareness, which most people call it, and I think that kind of translates to nature of mind practice, or it could translate to Vipassana practice, seeing things as they are. And right now we're talking about the preparatory process that is necessary in order for us to really meditate, that do open awareness meditation. And I think a lot of meditators nowadays say that they are doing just open awareness meditation, but they don't necessarily have the right understanding or the right approach to what that actually means to do open awareness meditation. So these processes that we're talking about are the necessary kind of footsteps or steps to take in order to do Vipassana, or nature of mind, open awareness meditation.
You see, in Theravada tradition, we used to think this open awareness, it kind of refer to Vipassana practice. It's a part of Vipassana practice. But in Tibetan tradition, it's a Samatha practice. It's a objectless Samatha. Yeah, like a choiceless awareness, so to speak. Yeah. And you see, if you see the objects, it doesn't matter that you understand the objects. Experience something and understand this experience is not the same. So that's why if you do open awareness, it doesn't mean that you understand impermanence, suffering, non-self, or emptiness and awareness. Yeah, so people can just be in the fog, of like, okay, something changing, but I have no clue what it is. So that's why the foundation of all the practices in every schools is a right view. Yeah? And this right view vary in these different vehicles. But the basics is whatever you observe, it's actually not thing that is important. You cannot hold it. All this stuff just appears and disappears without any trace, like your thoughts, like your dreams, like your life, basically. Yeah. So, open awareness is just as one type of meditation that we use. But again, when you get insights in Theravada tradition, we call it insights, like 16 jnanas, and in Tibetan tradition, you understand how to practice the nature of mind. So, when you practice all other things, this stuff became the core of your practice, whatever you do. So what I mean, in Theravada we call it insight meditation, yeah? And whatever you practice is insight meditation after that. Even if you practice concentration, it became insight meditation. And in Tibetan Buddhism the same, whatever you start to practicing, it became a nature of mind practice.
I guess we keep talking about it, what's the essence of each school, or like where they're all leading to. And it's really hard to talk about it, but can you just somehow say a few more words about, it's so hard to talk about it, like nature of mind or Vipassana, what is this commonality? Because like right now we're talking about it from a practicing point of view, but what it actually is not so much what we're talking about in a way. And so I'm curious if we can kind of explore a bit what is really the mutual point in all these traditions.
The main mutual point is awareness. Yeah, in Thai tradition they call it like a puru. It's like the one who knows, or the knower. But it doesn't mean that there is some personality. It's just, this quality of mind, this awareness that just knows. And then another side of it phenomena. And at some point this whole phenomena is the dhammas. Dhammas is non-self, suffering, and impermanent. Or in other words, emptiness, or emptiness with awareness together. So on this ground you can find these similarities. Awareness and something that you are aware of.
And that's it.
Yes. Oh, for sure, I guess we can play around to see like some more details about it. But for me personally, I see this framework that is pretty useful for exploring and to kind of unfold your inner journey.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm thinking if we keep talking about it, or maybe we could do a very short guided meditation maybe.
Guided meditation. What kind of guided meditation?
Or maybe just something that everyone can try, maybe 5 minutes to like kind of get in touch with the stuff that we're talking about.
All right. But before we start, we need to understand the framework that we are doing. So first we need to understand that whatever we are aware of, whatever we watch, whatever we hear, whatever we sense, is just an object. Yeah, it's just an experience. And all these experiences is not important in meditation practice. All they come, all they're gone, without any trace. So that's why we are not trying to cling to it, we not try to change it, we not try to modify it somehow.
No experience belongs to me.
Yes, it's not belong to us, and it's not us. Yeah, because sometimes you're like, oh, I'm thinking, or I'm feeling, so all this stuff creates some confusion. No, whatever you're aware of is not you. So this is first thing. If we understand that any experiences is not important, we need to understand, okay, what is important in this case in our meditation. And important is the mind that watching these experiences and the quality of this mind that more often than not we are missing. What I mean by quality of mind, when we watch an experience, feeling arise by itself, pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. And if it's a pleasant feeling, craving arise. We want to get it. And if it's unpleasant feeling, aversion arise. We want to remove it. And then, object arise, and we just focus on this object. Focus on it. We already know that we want to remove it. Let's say pain or some thoughts. We already don't like it. We want to remove it. But we just watch it. And sometimes it disappears. I mean, everything is impermanent.
Yeah.
And we think, oh, this is the right practice. I found the way how destroy unpleasant feelings, unpleasant objects. And then you got trapped into it, because now you expect that by watching and spending more time in meditation, you will become a master of your mind. You will destroy all these enemies. But actually, it creates more suffering. It creates more these loops of expectation, wanting, craving, hating. So that's why we need to a little bit look back to see what we really want from this object, what our intention to watch this object. So for example, thoughts arise, and we watch it, and we really want them to disappear. And we need to catch this wanting, this desire them to disappear. And at this moment, thoughts, not important. Not important at all. Important is this quality of mind to want them to disappear. And if you can pinpoint this desire for this object to disappear, you get some relief. You touch the roots of all suffering. It's a craving, hate, and delusions. This is exactly the place where all these three things live.
But it's enough just to see the craving that you want the thoughts to disappear. Because what I find in my meditation, that I would see the craving that I have for the thoughts to disappear, and then I would have hatred or dislike towards that craving, and it would just keep going and rolling.
Yes. It's like a Russian dolls, that
Yeah, exactly.
you put like
it just keeps going.
so we need to recognize it. That sometimes, yes, we recognize the quality of mind, like, okay, the craving. I watch on these thoughts and I want it, want this idea, want it to happen in the future, let's say. So I recognize this craving, and then I understand, oh, this craving is bad. Now I want to remove the craving. You see, the moment when you catch the quality of mind became an object. And now you need to check the quality of mind with which you watch this object. Yeah? And the best thing that how you can check that everything more or less going in the right direction, your body should be relaxed and your mind should be relaxed. It doesn't guarantee you that you are on the right path, but at least, because if there is some kind of an irritation, it means there is desire to get something or desire to get rid of something. Yeah, so this is kind of like a basic understanding what we are doing and how we do it. We can do the small, short meditation.
Okay, that's right.
And before we start our meditation, check that you choose a comfortable posture. Your back can be loosely straight. And your body should be relaxed. check your intention for this meditation. We are not trying to get anything, reach anything. We are not going to change this moment, modify it, to remove unpleasant experiences and bring pleasant experiences. No. Our meditation is about awareness. Awareness of this present moment. Awareness of the body and awareness of the mind. You can check where is your awareness currently. If it's in your body, what you are aware of? Do you are aware of sensation in your face? Or your head? Maybe sensation in your neck, shoulders, and hands? Sensations in your chest and abdomen, upper back and lower back? Or maybe sensations in your legs and feet. Or maybe you are aware of the whole body sensations with the breathing, and how the breathing affects the whole body sensations. And you can be aware of a hearing happening at this moment, and you do nothing to hear. Hearing is in nature. It's happening by itself. You just recognize that hearing is present and you're aware of it. And maybe you can be aware of the thoughts that are happening at this moment. Maybe you're aware of some pictures that appears and disappears in your mind. Or maybe you're aware of an inner talk that describes your current experience. And your awareness can arise at any sense doors. If you're aware of hearing, it's good. If you're aware of body sensations, it's good. And if you're aware of thinking, it's also good. Just learn to relax. And let awareness lead the way. And after a while, you can recognize that sensations and awareness of sensations is not the same. Hearing and awareness of hearing is not the same. And thoughts and awareness of thoughts is also not the same. Whatever experiences we have, it rises, exists, and passes away. And awareness of these experiences, present at this moment. You are aware of something that's happening right now. You just need to ask yourself, is there awareness? And when you recognize the presence of awareness, just rest into it. Rest in the natural awareness. Don't try to hold it or increase it. Just let it be as it is. And if there is an awareness, there is an object that this awareness knows. So you don't need to jump from one object to another. Just stay with awareness in a resting state of mind. Open and spaciousness. Wide and deep. And if your eyes are closed, slowly and mindfully open it, but don't finish meditation. Continue meditation with open eyes. Be aware of a seeing process. Seeing is happening, and there is an awareness of seeing. Stay with the awareness, and maybe awareness will lead you to no hearing or no sensations or no thinking at this moment. The object of awareness doesn't matter. The awareness by itself is important. When you discover the awareness in the present moment, just rest in it. And this awareness that you develop this way, you can bring with you to your daily activities. Whatever you do, walking, eating, talking, whatever you prefer, you can do with awareness. So, keep this beautiful quality of mind, develop it, and be happy. To share this happiness with others, we need to be happy by ourselves. Step by step, bring this awareness to your life. Whenever we start practicing meditation, we have this idea that there is a beginning of meditation and the end of meditation. So it's kind of okay. This is my meditation cushion. On meditation cushion there is magic going on. My mind is purified. But when you stand from this cushion, you go to this busy life, forget about meditation, forget about mindfulness. But for our task is to purify this mind, that watching these experiences, to bring this wholesome quality for this mind. And if we have 24 hours a day, so let's say you sleep 6-8 hours, depends on the person, and then you have other 16-14 hours a day, and you meditate, let's say 1 hour. You're great, you meditate 1 hour. And then evening, let's say 1 hour, 2 hours. And then what do you do? Another 12-14 hours. And actually these hours determine your direction. Where are you going? So 2 hours is good, but other hours will drag you to some direction. If it's wholesome actions that you do in these hours, good for you. But it's not wholesome if it's filled up with a craving and aversion. So this is the direction where your mind will be developed. So that's why when we sit, meditate, and you hear the bell, don't stop meditating. You just finish this pose and you go to another pose. You just change the position of your body, but you remain your awareness, whatever you do. When you walk, when you eat, when you speak, and even when you sleep, you can bring awareness to absolutely every actions during the day. And only this way can help you to maintain this flow of awareness. Before maintain, you need to get it. So first you get this flow of awareness, and then you maintain it this way. So if you just meditate, several hours a day is good, but it's not enough. We need to fill up the gaps between formal practices with this informal awareness, whatever we do. So, general advice, never stop meditating. Only start meditating. And by this, we will go to the right direction.